about the big things, so make we talk about the small things, so.
Today, we say we will continue from last week's discussion. Yeah, we say okay, we'll take a step further, and the topic for today is development options for the Niger Delta. We do our part, we do our bit in the best way we can.
Yeah.
So we say okay, we'll come studio here today. We'll talk about a lot of things that concerns development in the Niger Delta, not only Delta State, not only Bayelsa State, the entire Niger Delta.
Yeah.
What are the development options? Because we are very, very much reliant on one aspect in terms of development, but there should be other options. So we decided to call in a guest. His name is Professor Carl Oshodi Sibo, but he's going to join us shortly. But before he comes online, what are your thoughts about development in the Niger Delta?
Okay, development, of course, I'm sure all of us know what that is. It's about what's the word? The alternative word for development now. It's about creating a safe environment for you and constantly improving upon it to ensure that everything goes well around you and those everyone around So when development in the Niger Delta from 1999 to date, there's been few attempts to actually move the society from what it was. If you look at Delta State, for example, between 1999 and today, there's been a lot of changes out there, even though sometimes we don't want to see them. But
we pretend not to see
them. But monumentally, there's a whole lot of changes between what we had before 1999 and what we have today. Yeah. So, but when you talk about development options, it simply means that okay, yeah, we have one thing going for us, right? Can we have something else? Can we build on something else in addition to what we have going for us? So the Niger Delta, as we know it, is a place. It has the most connected creek and connected and navigable creek in the entire African society. Yeah, that's one thing that is going for the Niger Delta. So the question that one want to ask is, why is it that when we have the most connected and navigable creek in African society, why is water transport not a major feature of the Niger Delta come the Nigerian society?
Okay, all right. I think this conversation is going to be a very powerful one. Yeah. So let's try and bring in Professor Isibo Carl Oshodi. All right, we're still yet to get Professor Isibo on the line. So, Mr. Fred, let me ask you this question. Yeah? Beyond oil, what is the most viable economic pathway for the Niger Delta in the next 15 years?
You mean 15?
Yes.
Okay. Globally, what drives most society is agriculture globally. And that the kind of agriculture that drives societies globally is not the type that is in practice in Africa and particularly in Nigeria. Globally, you find that agriculture is
Hello, hold on. Just hold your thoughts there, Mr. Fred. All right, Professor Isibo, good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
All right, my name is Richard Benin and I work with Community Development Advocacy Foundation, CODAF. And this is the EnviroGist of Quest 93.1 FM. You are our guest today. How are you doing, sir?
Well, I'm fine. We thank God and we cannot complain.
All right, so let me do a brief introduction of Professor Carl Isibo. Professor Carl Isibo is the Group Chief Executive Director, Officer, AI Group Incorporated Holdings Limited, Kigali, Rwanda. So, Prof, our discussion today is based on development options for the Niger Delta. All right. Yeah. All we know is that there is one source of revenue, major source of revenue, which is oil. Yeah. So in the studio here is my colleague and friend, Mr. Fred Nokwo, and we also have Mr. Endurance Oriakoba in the studio here. So we'll be engaging you in this discussion. Yeah. Hope that's fine with you, sir.
Of course, of course.
All right. So before you came online, I was already asking Mr. Fred what are his thoughts, beyond oil, what is the most viable economic pathway for the Niger Delta in the next 15 years? He was already telling us his thoughts. So let's allow him finish, then you could add your thoughts to it. Is that okay, sir?
All right, of course.
All right, so Mr. Fred.
Yeah. Okay, so good morning to you, Professor Isibo, if I get that correct.
Yes, of course.
Welcome. So I was saying that yes, we have what this question tried to say is how can we diversify away from what is known as oil, all right, to something else. So I was saying that agriculture is a major platform upon which most societies have developed and upon which a lot of societies currently are still developing. And when we talk about agriculture, we cannot be talking about the kind of agriculture we practice in Nigeria today. So we must move towards what we call modern agriculture, that is value addition, right? So what that means is that if you plant corn, you must not end at just harvesting the corn and selling it. Then you must plant corn and then process it. We know what you call that, grain giant. Grain giant is the same thing as the corn you eat here, but it has been processed and value has been added to it. So when you talk about moving away from what we have, it means that we are looking at possibly modern agriculture. Again, like I said earlier, the Niger Delta has the largest connection of creeks and navigable rivers. Okay, so that means that yes, it is possible to develop the water system to make it a functional one, where we have water transportation, ports that are in several places, and shipbuilding, logistics. These things are things that should naturally occur in a society like the Niger Delta. Then we have, of course, the kind of society we have in Nigeria that also allows such things as renewable energy. We have a lot of solar, energy in the society in this region. So we can actually leverage on solar to ensure that our societies move away from the traditional system of energy provision to a solar one that is even cheaper in terms of other. Then agro processing and petrochemical industries and add value to a lot of things. Oil is a major state, it's a mainstay of the Nigerian society, and it is found in the Niger Delta. Why are we not, leveraging on the products that come from, this oil? Why are we relying on just petrol and sometimes diesel and kerosene? Because major things that you use today, they are coming from the petroleum product. So we can leverage on all that, by building factories and industries that can add value to this thing. You see the Niger Delta every day. You see gas flare going on everywhere. That is potential, resources that have been, wasted. And then ecotourism. If you have the Niger Delta developed the way I have talked about, then there will be a lot of ecotourism in the society in the Niger Delta. You find our big men today going to South Africa to buy water from houses. We don't have creeks in Nigeria. We do. We don't have water front places in Nigeria. We do. Why are they not buying them? Because they have not been developed. So these are some ways we could actually, prioritize, other sources of revenue, as against what we have currently. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Fred. Professor Isibo, are you there?
Within the Niger Delta region. It is something that the Niger Delta as a region must be declared a state of emergency with regard to full industrialization protocol. It therefore means that whether you are looking at the agro value chain, value chain development, you are looking at the macroeconomic potentials. The Niger Delta demands a state of emergency. I will take it from, say, 10 pillars. If I don't know the time with which I am going to expand it, we have to engage our audience. We have to engage the people of Niger Delta more or less like a classroom, but beyond theoretical framework into practical implications. And this is what we need to do first. We need to first look at what is that blueprint or that strategic development blueprint beyond oil that we must consider for the Niger Delta. We must take it into more or less like a framework, a team framework, say from an extractive economy to say Nigeria in the national context, West Africa in the regional context, or Africa in the continental context. We must look at it from the innovation, blue economy, green industrialization, or investment powerhouse. Because Niger Delta, with what we have actually seen over the years, is enough to actually not just feed the nation, but be a hub of industrialization for the nation. Industrialization, a hub for the industrialization, because we have the potential infrastructure. We can invest in potential infrastructure. For instance, like what the Niger Delta Development Commission is doing. They are doing their best, but we need to, expand it from even a subnational, which is state level, to more or less like a local government level, so that the developmental impact can usher in, can be domesticated at that level. You see, over the previous 2 decades, I had been in the forefront of climate resilience for the Niger Delta. From the era days of Oroto Douglas to the EU days of Tuodolo, when the Kayama Declaration was done, there were blueprints we set in terms of climate reclamation, climate resilience, climate reassessment of how the Niger Delta seeks, or how the Niger Delta should be developed. And this is what actually even brought about the agitation that you see that led to the militancy. These were unresolved issues, and these unresolved issues was one question: if Niger Delta has oil and other mineral arable resources, therefore Niger Delta should be developed the way Western countries are developed. And it requires a deliberate policy thrust from not just only the government per se, but relevant stakeholders in the region. Who are the relevant stakeholders? We have relevant stakeholders like the NDDC, for instance. We have relevant stakeholders like state government. The state government, due to the 30% derivation which the federal government granted, set up what we call development commissions at the state level. And the question is that, what is this development commissions doing? What are their priority agenda? What are their investment protocol? What are their portfolio development or project framework that they have achieved over the years? In 2004 to 2009, I took on a research which included gas flare and corrugated steels. Now, this research took me not just my resources, because of course it was a research that led to the activities of gas flare caused by multinational oil corporations. As multinational oil corporations, in a bid to actually solve some of the problems, even though they were making a lot of money, was to also look at community relations in actually divesting industrialization at their own local impact level, which means that they are transit communities, they are beneficiary communities. Now, these beneficiary communities, they developed a project. This project was to hammer on industrializing those regions. By now, if those projects framework was followed, to the latter, we would have a say in Bayelsa. We will have the Oyeregbene community being industrialized like Dubai. We will have Baramatu, although Baramatu is expanding now. I love what's going on there. Baramatu would have developed to the standard of those high-brow communities or high-brow township in South Africa or even in the US or in Canada. These resources were there. Now, this is not to complain about, but to provide a strategy for which we cannot begin to look at development of the Niger Delta, industrializing in the Niger Delta, investing in infrastructure development in the Niger Delta for the benefit of the people beyond oil in the next 50 years. And I would like to actually look at the strategic key pillars. Now, one of the pillars, like my brother actually said, is blue economy and global maritime competitiveness. Now, what is the blue economy, looking at in the Niger Delta? What have we emerged as? Is Niger Delta, in terms of blue economy, leading in Africa? You and I know the answer. But the truth is that, you see, we need to develop a world-class deep sea ports, wherein if we have to, add value to our agro products, we have to add value to our petroleum products. Where is the deep sea ports? Nothing like that is happening. In Niger Delta, except Akwa Ibom, and maybe Calabar, and maybe say Port Harcourt. Now I can't even mention Port Harcourt. There is no adequate maritime free trade and export processing zones. Akwa Ibom has invested massively in this, and that is because the state government prioritize the blue economy as a potential for industrializing the Akwa Ibom as a state. It also added, based on the 30% derivation, taking money from Breast Foundation as a proceed to, marshal out industrial plans for Akwa Ibom. In Nigeria, as we speak, Akwa Ibom has the most comprehensive industrial facility or special economic zones in Nigeria. Not even Eco Atlantic. Not even the free zone, Lekki free zone. Akwa Ibom has.
Hello, Prof. Can you hear me? Hello. All right. So I will want you to keep it, brief, so that we can get to the next question. Is that possible? Because we have listeners who want to call in to engage you in the next 10 minutes. Yeah. So go ahead, sir.
So we are looking at this the strategic pillars that will help us to enhance development in the region. One of them, which is the second of them, is actually industrial diversification and advancing manufacturing, which my brother also talked about. We need to build industries that are adding values to our products, our mineral resources, our natural resources. These products, by the time they are repackaged, by the time their values are added and well packaged, it cannot be ready for export. Now, the third one is actually energy transition, which has to be, looking at what is the green growth and the green funds available for the Niger Delta, which the climate enthusiasts have been hammering on in terms of governance, policy, and financing. This financing also look at, there are natural resources that can be implemented on, which is the solar panel he talked about. We can manufacture our solar panels here. We can actually do our, offshore wind farms here. We can actually also do our bioenergy industry here. All of these things are part of the energy transition and green growth. Now, the climate enthusiasts have been talking about. The COP 1, 2, 3, even to the 26 that they are working on now, are based on how Africa, especially Niger Delta, can be energy efficient. Because if you are energy efficient, you can drive industrialization, you can drive manufacturing, you can drive industrial side and industrial complexes. The fourth one is actually what we call agriculture, food security, and bioeconomy. is very simple, and our own people our government can be climate smart in terms of investing in agriculture. We can also look at agro-industrial processing corridors. We can have one, say, in Port Harcourt because of its nearness to the seaport. We can have one in Calabar. We can have one in Akwa Ibom, and one in Edo, the Gelegele seaport. These are areas where government can invest in. And again, too, in this agriculture, we have palm, sufficient palm, rubber, and latexes, all are, within our environment, including the aquaculture. So all of these things are points with which we have to look at. The most efficient and very fundamental, which is the fifth one, is actually knowledge economy in the fourth industrial revolution. Our young people need to be taught skills, innovations. They need to be experts in artificial intelligence. Fourth industrial revolution, which is the 4 arrows. They need to look at how they can use innovations, skills development to power industrialization. They need to look at, IT. They need to look at automation. They need to look at several other things that can bridge that knowledge gap. With this knowledge gap now, we don't need a Chinese, we don't need a Lebanese to come and build our roads or bridges or industries. Our people, our Niger Delta people, will now be the one responsible in piloting and driving sustainable development in our region in terms of industrialization. So to keep it very, very brief, is we need to now invest in infrastructure and smart regional connectivity. There need to be a smooth connectivity between, and not just connectivity, agreement and alignment, development alignment between Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Rivers, Delta, Edo, Imo, all this Niger Delta region. We must look at concentrating connectivity. It means that our resources, our value addition should have a market base, and that is the reason why the African Continental Free Trade Area was introduced, to look at how Africa can trade with themselves, trade amongst themselves, consume what we produce, rather than looking at consuming made in China. Consuming made in Taiwan. We can produce it here. We can have our own cotton value chain and produce our garment here. We can have our agricultural value chain and produce our food here. We can have our leather value chain and produce our shoes, our belts, our caps, or whatever it means. Even our leather sofas. All of these things are part of the sustainable policy dimension and direction that the government and stakeholders of the Niger Delta region, in terms of accelerating development beyond or in the next 50 years, can become a reality. Thank you very much.
That's a wonderful one you gave there, Professor Isibo. Thank you very much. That brings us to the next question. Yeah, and we do not have enough time. Yeah, so Ediora.
Thank you, Professor Isibo, for that wonderful exegesis. I would like to ask, there's clearly an implementation gap. We have agencies like the NDDC, we have the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs, we have acts that are put in place to ensure that communities are developed, but yet communities still lack basic infrastructure. So my question would be, what structural or governance reforms would make this institution actually deliver in terms of developing communities and the nation?
All right, thank you very much, Ediora. So, Prof, quickly respond to that, sir.
Say 2024, there was a proposition I made to the Niger Delta region and Brace Foundation. By the special grace of God, I was part of its pioneering member, personnel of Brace Foundation. And that gives me an upper edge in policy development and implementation process for project implementation. Now, what I propose and what I still remain, which has not been implemented, is that the Niger Delta as a region, we're not talking about the nation now, as a region, must have its own project development portfolio policy framework, which means that it will harmonize development and conduct a monitoring and evaluation process that if community A is undertaking development structure, what is the sincerity of purpose? What is the governance instrument that is put in place in checks to ensure that what NDDC is doing in community A meets expectation or standard framework or standard mandate of its own mandate? Is it that the roads that they are constructing, say 2 kilometer road to Ogbia, meet specification? All of this framework, policy governance framework, must be a document that the Niger Delta must have as an instrument to work with. Every region, every nation, even as we were talking about Dubai, everybody is going to Dubai now. Dubai have a development framework instrument that they work with. It means that if there is going to be a new development streams going on in another city in Dubai, even if you talk about the Burj Khalifa, you talk about not the Dubai itself, it's just part of United Arab Emirates. And we have communities that is undertaking development now, and the seriousness of its policy makers, the seriousness of its implementers have a documentation that they follow. They don't just wake up and tell you that XYZ needs to be done. Now the XYZ, does it meet the standard? Where is the document you are getting it from? Did you just wake up and say you are locating this project to X of a community? What is A asking for? Is the A asking for water and you are giving them a cocoyam? You must give them water because that is the need assessment. It therefore means that before this project cannot be done, you must carry out a need assessment of what the people need. There is no document like that. It therefore means that if we have to be serious, if we have to be intentional, if we have to be deliberate about industrializing Niger Delta in the next 50 years or beyond oil, we must have out these documentations. We must have this framework that will work with. Niger Delta is not just a come and ride, a vehicle where you just take the key from nowhere and begin to ride. There must be a custodian for that key. It therefore means that if Niger Delta Development Commission is there and be doing its work, who is evaluating, who is auditing these development stakeholders, these development institutions that are in Niger Delta? We cannot say it will be unfair to Niger Delta to say that Niger Delta Development Commission to say that they have not done, quite a marvelous work. They have done. But sometimes we need to track what are they doing, which community is next. Is it community A, B or not? Which of the areas are going to be prioritized? Are we prioritizing industrialization? Are we prioritizing agriculture? Are we prioritizing deep seaport? Are we prioritizing roads? Are we prioritizing energy? What are we prioritizing? There should be a document that every Niger Delta will look at that document and track and follow development. Just like as you follow the money, you must also follow the development. But there is no documentation, adequate document that explicitly narrates and gives a vivid account of the development process. There are projects that NDDC has done over the last 20 years. People don't even know that place. There are roads that they have done that people don't know. Do we know this place? Is this road relevant to this community? And what are we doing to just start and put on the people into the framework of awareness of what NDDC is doing and who will follow NDDC to comprehensively analyze and audit the commission? If we're talking about NDDC, there's a breast foundation. There's an oil development commission in this Niger Delta. What are they doing? Who are they working for? Where is the money going? We don't follow the money, we don't follow development. So if we don't follow development and follow money, it therefore means that industrializing the Niger Delta will be difficult. Moving forward, we need to call for an accurate account or documentation of this framework so that every Niger Delta can have this deep level analysis in their pocket to judge, to sometimes support and jointly implement the development speed going on in the Niger Delta.
Thank you very much, Professor Isibo. this in where we come from, Professor Sibo, you dey hear broken, you dey hear pidgin English, the heck correct guy. So but where we come from, all these things we talk so now matters with the boss brain. All right, so we're going to open the lines immediately. Okay, it seems Mr. Fred has one or two things to add to what you just said now. So
okay,
quickly,
just
Mr.
to
Fred.
buttress what he has said. For me, it is less about policy design and more about governance and accountability. So when you say there is a gap, what you are simply saying is that something is being done, but it's not meeting the standard, or you're not getting to where you should get to. From what Professor Estibo has said, it shows that there are attempts, to actually award contracts. There are contracts being awarded every day. The question is whether they meet the standard that we want them to meet, or whether they are actually being carried out. A few weeks, was it last week? The governor of Delta State was in Isoko and had to summon a contractor for Iri Technical College, right? And some other members of the house at the time for a project that was awarded 7 years ago.
Yes.
Has not been completed. All right. So, for me, the approach to that will simply mean one, imagine if you look at Delta State, for example. I don't want to go to the federal. If you speak about Delta State, we would have spoken about nearly all the states in the Niger Delta and even the federal. There are a lot of overlapping, agencies and ministries. All right. So if you look at the Delta State, for example, you have Delta State Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency. You have State Job Creation. You have Youth Entrepreneurship Agency. These are 3 different agencies that are doing the same thing. All right. So if we must move forward, we need to merge certain agencies. All right, like I just mentioned. If you look beyond that, if a project, if you award a contract, and that contract, if you want it to be fully developed or executed, the government must do one thing: publish all project budgets, contracts, and implementation timeline for public scrutiny. So what that means is that if you award a contract in Ogbia, in the community in Ogbia, for example, or in Ogele, for example, and you publish it, everybody in the society have that detail. So the contractor will not come and begin to do certain things that are not, the only thing that you may not publish in that contract, maybe the detailed whatever, but you publish it, we know what the contractor is supposed to do, the scope of work. We know, if we know it, we'll be able to hold the contractor, accountable. But when this is not there, the contractor will not give it to you because we know it is human. It's not because that man is a contractor. It is human for us to actually hide certain things. So that if that is done, then we'll find that a lot of contracts that are awarded will be executed and professionally completed the way they should be. Again, you have, establishing independent monitoring bodies that include civil society professionals, associations, and community representatives to monitor projects. You understand? If this is done, then the weight of project supervision is not solely on government alone. It now becomes every citizen's responsibility to do the monitoring. You understand? Now, I refer to the Delta State government again. Sometimes in the past, we have seen where the governor or something, I think, asking how come a particular contractor got a certificate of job completion when the job was actually below standard. You understand? But if all these people were to be part of it, the reason why Ghana society is better is because it is monitoring of special government things. It's not just based on government alone.
Yeah.
Civil societies are involved. A lot of different stakeholders in the society that are not, if they don't approve, government will not act. So we need to focus in this particular area. Making funding contingent on measurable outcome rather than political patronage. You will hear, for example, under Buhari government, you say market women wanting. They gave money to market women at the time. That was a project. But of what value was it to the society? a lot of people actually saw it as vote buying at the time.
Yeah.
Because it was close to election at the time. So this kind of things, these are things that should not be in our society in the first place. Then you are strengthening anti-corruption institutions and enforcing sanctions for abandon of poorly executed projects. We are in this country, how many times, apart from what Oborewori did in summoning the contractor in Iri, how many times have we seen that the contractor failed to complete a project or did a shoddy job and he was summoned and was sent to jail? We hardly see that. So for me, it is more about governance and accountability. Once the governance structure is good and accountability is built into government, then everything will follow suit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fred. Professor Isibo, we have actually run out of time. You see, like I said before, this not subject matter with a burst brain. Yeah, so so what we're going to do now, we're supposed to take a minute break, but immediately we're going to call the lines so that our listeners can contribute, ask questions on this subject matter. Are you okay with that, sir? All right, so this is the Envirogist of Question 3.1 FM. If you want to call now and add your thoughts to this discussion, 08056692969, or you can also reach us on 08022931931. I think we'll have our first caller. Oops. So, or you can also send a text message or through direct SMS or WhatsApp. All right, I think we'll have one now.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's the name of where are you calling from?
The student about this Christopher on the line. I want to appreciate all of you, and especially our prof from the Ghana. He has really said everything that he has brought the burden of people today. That if we don't want to be involved in politics, in bringing good leaders to power, please let us be involved in governance, accountability, like our brother there said, and development. Let us with high level of intelligence. Let us tell them what to do. Look at what the prophet just said now. This is what we need in reality. Transformation, total transformation. What stops the 6 governors of the reality to come together and let us turn this region to be better than Dubai? We have the resources, we have everything to do that. But what have we? We're even more endowed than the Dubai, than the United Arab Emirates. Why are we not doing that? You understand? You see, in this case, they just think for us. They don't even think with us. They just think for us. What we want to like to do, we do for them. Just give us some skeletal thing. There is nothing to show on ground. There's nothing to show. Look at what they talk about the knowledge economy, the fourth industrial revolution. That is what is going on. It might go online and see to wait for this country. Look at
it seems we lost Evangelist Christopher there. Professor Isibo, did you hear him? Okay, hold on. There's another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. What's the name of where are you calling from?
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, quickly.
This is King Charles calling from Ofoma.
Okay, King Charles, go ahead quickly. 10 seconds.
You people are really busting people brain room, my brother, people get sweet, they come to get people for this program in Jesus' name.
Amen.
This government are talking about them. We are the government that God will use to do all these things people are discussing. It's not this government. This government has failed us. We have conscience. We have knowledge. We can create, we can develop, we can work, we get everything that it takes to be common and good in Europe as a whole. We have the money, we have the capacity in this world to learn. Our military system, we are all blessed by God. God would have blessed us this country. God love us so much. This is the very people are talking about it. We shall come to power because this conference. I pray that God Almighty should use us to develop our country in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you very much, King Charles. Prof, I hope you are enjoying the program and Yeah. So
the FM, I can always plug in to continue to follow up with your well analyzed interventions on social development.
all right. Okay. Hold on, Prof. There's a caller on the line. I'm going to send you the link on how you engage Quest FM. Hello, can you please step away? We have lost him actually. Yeah, so we'll send you the link so that you can hook up to Quest FM.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday or anytime. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. What's the name and where are you calling from?
I'm Dr. Sam Abubantu. I'm calling from Moli.
Dr. Sam, go ahead. 20 seconds, sir.
I want to thank the prof there, Professor Sido.
Okay.
That exode he did there is worth millions of dollars. And you know this is what we'll be looking for, but who will implement it? And one of the things mentioned today, our people, they don't have what we call accountability. Nobody is responsible to anybody. It's a contract of 300 million. Whether the money was executed or not, nobody has any explanation for this. And one of the things I want to suggest is that any contract they are giving, they should bring the money out so that people can see them. Not awarding contract to figures we don't know them, they are giving. They're within the community. If not that our excellency went to that place in Iri, we wouldn't have known. Nobody would have said it. There are people actually in that Iri community, they are living in Isoko. Nobody would say, I've got this contract, come and finish it. The day you will go there, they come and find you in the house. So tell these people, the average Nigerian is saturated with a lot of problems. They should come outside and begin to fix them. That's why they elected themselves. We want them to work. The time to run around is over. Let us help ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Now we get the matter. You know, we're not going to wait to make America come develop our communities for us. Now we get the matter. So now we go engage government and engage ourselves to do the right thing. I mean, so. Hello.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, madam. What's the name and where are you calling from?
Rita, I'm calling for Ugodi.
Okay, go ahead, Madam Rita.
Please, not that I want to really think there's something going on in our community, so I just, if you can call me your call, then I'm discussing with you. Past 7 years now.
Okay, there is an issue in your community that you want us to look at, yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I can reach you with this number, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hold on, just stay on the line. Just stay on the line, please.
All right.
You say the name is what again?
Rita.
Rita. Okay, no problem. We'll reach you.
All right.
Thank you.
Sir.
Yeah. Professor Sibo, oh yeah now. The calls there plenty. You not going to talk again. Hello, Prof, you know if you talk again, no? The people. Okay, go ahead. I said, Prof, no go fit talk again.
From government to community. One of the biggest things I said that I take now is community needs projects. I'll give you an example now. Niger Delta Development Commission is doing solar lights all over the place. Ask me truthfully. Is this the community needs and is this satisfying the electricity needs of the community? So when everybody is working at night, the light is on. Is that what we are using in the house? The killer is using, the mechanic is using, the welder is using. So you can't need us. Between Africa and I'm saying that to Obiako, all the ones there, they have almost sold all of them. Who is responsible for maintaining, for seeing that they are formed, raise it up, maintain it? So these are like what women say, they don't give us what they want. Award millions of naira projects and nothing comes out of it. If they are not accountable to anybody, We don't even question them. If you want to even talk, one of the thoughts of the person there will just swallow you overnight, and that is your end. So our problem is too big, and it starts from the people that came and say, please elect me. I have the people I've had. The heart they have, it is once the election is announced, you are the winner. Forget it all. Nothing happens. So I will end up by saying prayer. Let the people in government, from the governor to the commissioner to the directors of work, and all of them, do what is right. And let them come out to tell us like what he said. This project is awarded and it's supposed to last for 8 months. We have paid for half of it. Community, make sure you look that the contractor is working. If it's not working, cry out. But they were one project of 301 billion. That's like my brother talk about the radio money. If you hear that, you get feedback. We don't know how to do it. So let them come out openly and tell community what they want to do for them. And the community will say, for now, this is what we need mostly. This road is our pressing need. Electricity is our pressing need. School is our pressing need. And when they give out the contract, the person that is awarded the contract, the community, and the awardee and all of them, everybody must know the terms of the contract. Not just award contract. Like the one Governor went to 7 years ago, he has almost gone 4 years. The thing now that the government of today is knowing that that contract was awarded. That contract was awarded before he came to office. Was there a paper handed over to his office? The federal government. So all of them are failing us. Yeah, responsible for our poverty. May God deliver them to deliver us in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you very much.
Sadly,
but let
us
us also praise the government for raising it.
Comment there. It means that the policy dimension of development in general is transparent and has an interface where people also react, respond, advise, and critique. And every reason, every advice is taken with all levels and all manner of seriousness. Now, another case in point is that in Rwanda, they don't expect them to be the best in what they do. What do? They call in the best to give them the best, and they implement the best for the good of their people. It means that I am a special policy advisor to the Minister for Trade and Industry, as well as the Minister of Infrastructure, 2 ministries. What do I do for them? I develop policies that will help in boosting their investments. Today, 3 years ago, Rwanda was not known to be the center of investment, or if you invest in Rwanda, your investment is guaranteed. What did they do? The minister called on me and said, you know what? Then I was just a doctor, I was not a professor, let's say an associate professor, and said, I need you, the way you did it for the African Union on the AFCFTA, can you do this for us? I looked at them. Ross, now my experience for Niger, now I take carry put for my head, plus global best practices, put them together, give them policy wey be say I join implement that policy today. When you talk about investment and they tell you where in the world that is safe, in Africa that is safe for your investment, it's Rwanda. Rwanda is seen as the capital of businesses in Africa right now, not South Africa, not Egypt, not Morocco, of course, not Ghana. But Rwanda is just a paltry sum of, if you put the whole of Niger Delta, the population big pass Rwanda. Rwanda landmass now, Edo Delta and maybe Akwa Ibom put together, that be the landmass. Yet these people have the highest per capita income in Africa.
All right, see, Prof, 1 second. See, my studio manager now don't tell us what, don't they pinch my back. Say we could wrap up. Is it possible for us to continue this discussion next week? Because, like I said, no matter what the boss bring, and people don't react. As I tell you, the phone they vibrate anyhow here. Is it possible for us to continue this conversation next week? right, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor Carl Isibo. Next week we are going to start early, so that we'll have a lot of people call in and give us their thoughts in this regard. All right, this is the Environment of Quest 93.1 FM. This is where we'll draw the curtain. And until next week, stay safe and do good.
See you next week.
See you next week. All right, thank you.
Make it a better place.